Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to our Protekt PPF webinar. Today we have two presenters for you, Shannon Ford, our sales rep for California, and Ken Floyd, the sales rep for Canada. Also, we have several videos that have been recorded by Lisa Floyd, our film trainer. Right now, all participants should be on mute. If you're not, make sure that you are on mute. We want to make sure that we're able to hear the presenters. Please locate the chat function for Zoom. It's usually in the bottom navigation. And if you have any questions throughout the webinar, enter them into the chat conversation. The webinar is going to be about 30 minutes long. We will have about 5 minutes at the end for question and answers. So any questions that you enter during the webinar will be asked to the presenters at the end of the webinar. And we are recording this webinar today. So if you ever want to refer back to it or look at the videos or the slides, it will be posted within the next few days to Madico U. And with that, I will go ahead and let Shannon Ford, our first presenter, take over.
Hi, I'm Shannon Ford. I'm the sales rep for Southern California and Hawaii, and I've been with Madico for 7 years. So I'm just going to dive right in. Why offer paint protection film? The global paint protection film market size is valued at $305.2 million. Adding PPF to your product lineup offers greater profit potential. Not only does PPF usually have higher returns than tinting, you can also upsell window film customers to make more per transaction. PPF also offers return customers. Once a customer gets PPF on one vehicle, there's a good chance they'll come back in the future with new vehicles or family members' vehicles. Or if they've had their car tint done by you in the past, then you can reach out to them via email, phone, or direct mail to offer them PPF. You can become a one-stop shop. Why send business to your neighbors and refer your PPF out to other shops? You can offer package deals for PPF and tint. Dealerships can come to you for both PPF and tint. You can gain increased credibility. PPF shops are often considered by many customers to be nicer shops, which can help increase your tint and other business. Offering PPF will attract a wider range of demographics. PPF can help you enter new markets. It's a great excuse to go into fleets, car dealerships, bus and motorhome companies and get business that you wouldn't otherwise have. And PPF is not just for automobiles. Boats, motorcycles, and unconventional uses such as graffiti guard in elevators and other surfaces can allow you to serve customers that tint shops would typically not be in contact with because they don't have windows to tint. So what are the main benefits of Protekt PPF? Protekt is a self-healing and stain-resistant paint protection film. Light scratches come out with a heat gun or sun right away. Later in the presentation, there will be videos demonstrating this and the stain-resistant quality. Protekt offers superior clarity. When installed properly, it is virtually invisible. Protekt enhances the metallic quality and color of the car. The appearance of Protekt meets and exceeds the industry standard for clarity and appearance. Protekt has an even top coat with a nice sheen and advanced hydrophobic quality. If you aren't familiar with hydrophobic property of film, we will be showing that later in the presentation. Protekt is a malleable film and absorbs shock better than thick, brittle film. Protekt is easy to install, which will save you time, money, and frustration. It offers excellent stretch for easier installation on more difficult vehicles and has a nice aggressive adhesive, so you'll want to back off your alcohol. But that adhesive helps with difficult installations. Like as you can see in the photo to the right, that bumper was quite difficult and it installed quite easily. Protekt is very forgiving of lift lines, and there is no silvering when repositioning the film. Sometimes during an install, you will need to reposition the film. And when this happens, you won't want a film that will leave lines or silvering. We will be demonstrating this in our videos later in the presentation. And Protekt offers a 7-year manufacturer's warranty in North America. So here are the product specifications for Protekt. You can see from the diagram above that the urethane is a 6 mil, the adhesive is 1.25 mil, and the top coat is 2.25 mil. Our new formulation has excellent clarity and is not yellow. We are introducing a 3 mil release liner that goes through the plotter very easily. Protekt PPF comes with a 1 mil cap sheet or a top liner, so be sure to remove it before installation. Our cap sheet protects the film during shipping, preventing damage, and you will notice how nice and even the sheen is. Protekt's total film thickness is 7.5 mil, which is industry standard and comparable in thickness to other market leaders. Pictured above is a photo of the Protekt being measured with a micrometer, which means they are measuring just the thickness of the film. So only the PPF is being measured, not the liner or the cap sheet. Madico offers both plotters and software. The Madico Advanced Cutting System, or MAX, can help you increase profits by offering you better yield and a decreased amount in the waste of film. In film waste. So in essence, it saves you film, which will save you money. Plotters speed up your cutting and allow you to do more cars, and plotters are faster and easier than hand cutting. Using plotters means you no longer are cutting directly on paint, which is a selling point that you can tell your customers. They will be glad to hear it. Kits can be cut ahead of time and brought to dealerships. Also, with the Max software, you can show your customer the available pattern pieces on the computer screen and upsell accessory pieces such as door handle cups, A-pillars, roof line, and bumper luggage guards that they might not have considered, which can lead to more profits. Plotters can allow you to have an apprentice help install. An apprentice can be prepping the car, cutting the kit, weeding the kit while you are installing on another car. And plotters are not just for window tint and paint protection film. You can also cut crisp graphics and patterns with speed and precision. You can create signs, decals, and stencils, as well as vehicle graphics and logos, and even pinstriping. We offer 3 top-of-the-line GraphTech plotters here in the United States. The 64 GraphTech, which is a 72-inch max media width, 54 GraphTech, which is a 60-inch maximum media width, and the 42 GraphTech, which is a 48-inch maximum media width. Financing may be available, so contact your rep or service center for more information. Max software was developed for Madico dealers and includes unlimited use of the pattern library, which includes more than 4,000 window film patterns dating back to 1990 and over 35,000 paint protection patterns. Unlimited use means unlimited cuts, so there is no limit to the number of cuts you can make. You are not limited to credits based on film purchases. The software is updated automatically with new patterns, which are added and automatically pushed out overnight. Max has design tools for editing patterns and designs. You are not limited to the patterns in the database. You can make your own patterns, or you can edit the patterns that are included and save the changes on your computer. You're not limited to cars. You can expand your business and create signs, banners, and decals. Max uses common graphic file formats such as Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. Max software subscriptions are 1 year long and are available with 2 payment options. They can be paid for in one payment up front, or they can be automatically charged in 12 monthly payments. As mentioned previously, Max software is updated regularly, so you always get the latest patterns and tools. So, who's your target market? Who is a good fit for PPF? Well, you can upsell your current customers. Anyone who has a leased vehicle, PPF will keep the vehicle in pristine condition, so when it's returned, there's no cost to the lessee. Anyone with a new vehicle, PPF can keep the value up for resale purposes and keeps the vehicle looking new for longer. High-end exotic owners are always looking to protect their investment. Classic car owners are another potential market, and really you can put PPF on anyone's vehicle who loves their car. PPF can also help you gain new business through other markets you may not be currently in, such as auto dealerships. If you can secure 6 dealerships, that will keep you busy during the slower season. You can also get corporate accounts with fleets such as bus companies, RV companies, taxi and shuttle companies, and government vehicles such as police, transit, and utility vehicles. Body shops are important because insurance may pay to replace PPF that was on a part of the body damaged during an accident. Car rental companies and motorcycles and motorcycle dealerships are also good markets. On motorcycles, gas tanks can get scratched very easily, and so can fairings and saddlebags. We have a customer testimonial we'd like to share with you. This is from Narayan Andrews from Spectrum Auto in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Protekt PPF has been an incredible addition to our product offerings, and our installers find it easy to work with. Our customers are pleased with the outcome and love how the film protects their vehicle's paint finishes, especially on areas such as the fender and bumper. The product does an excellent job of protecting against and withstanding the anti-icing chemicals we often have to use here in Colorado. So I'm going to hand this over to Ken now.
All right. Thanks, Shannon. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Ken Floyd, Eastern Canada sales rep for Madico Canada, based out of Oakville, Ontario. I have an extensive background in installation and sales for window tint and paint protection film. I've been selling Madico products for approximately 15 years now. And I'd like to do a shout out to Rick Carter, who takes care of our western provinces of Canada, based out of Richmond, BC. I'd like to go through some of the recommended tools. These are only suggestions. They have proven to work in the field. If you have tools that you use now that you like and are successful, please keep using them. We like to do what's called a 2-bottle system. For using the 2-bottle system, we like to have what's called the spray master bottles. They're lightweight, they got a strong clip on them, and they work very well. Now next to it is the silver Olfa knife. That's commonly used in most tint shops. It's used for tinting and PPF. Now the next is the scrub pads. These are used to take off bugs, road residue, pollutants off the paint surface before you install the PPF. Now remember to use these wet, never dry. They are a scouring pad. They will scratch. So I would probably like to see you test them in an area just to make sure they're not scratching up the paint too bad. But using them wet, they will not leave hairline scratching. Now, next is the alcohol. This is the first part of the 2-bottle system. 1 bottle will be used with alcohol. It's a 25-75 ratio, 25% being alcohol, 75% water. We'd like to see you use 70% isopropyl alcohol only, not 99. 99 will smear the adhesive because it's a bit too strong. But again, this is not written in stone, the mixture. So if you find that your mix is too strong or not strong enough, please feel free to fool around with your mixtures to make sure you're comfortable with what you have. The next tool is called a green contour. Now, this is mainly used for door cup installations, as it's got a flexible, it's easy to install underneath the cups themselves. This is an excellent upsell for you. Doing door cups, you can actually take some of your scrap pieces that would end up in the garbage, use your core from your film if you don't have a plotter, and cut little circles and use them. They can be sold at like $10 to $20 per cup. So it's a great way to use your excess films that you're not going to be using. Next is the Olfa stainless steel blades. They're again commonly used for the tint and PPF industry. Great for weeding out your kits and trimming off the PPF when you're installing. Next is a 4-inch white hard card. Again, commonly used in tint and PPF installations. This is more of a finishing tool, pushing moisture from the edges. I recommend you wrap this in a paper towel, or your microfiber cloths, because they can scratch if they have a slight burr on them. Now, a 5-inch green turbo is highly recommended for the PPF. It's got a perfect durometer for installation. And alongside it, there's a new pink turbo. It's got a slightly softer durometer, but still excellent for the PPF installation. Now, a nice little trick to the trade is what we use is a syringe. Now, this is a fantastic tool that will save you a lot of time and headache. If you do an install and you leave bubbles, 1 or 2 bubbles in the center of the kit, instead of having to lift the whole kit up to get at that bubble, now you can poke that bubble, draw the water into it, and you'll never see the mark. That way it'll save you time, headache, and potentially having to redo the whole kit. Now, microcloths. Always have these with you. You want to wipe the moisture away as you're doing your installs. You want to wipe the surface as you're doing them. And you'll see that, you'll see Lisa doing that in the video in a little bit. But you can wipe it as you're going along, so you can see what you've left behind, if anything. But they're soft and they don't leave scratching. Now, the POD steamer, better known as the pressure on demand steamer. Now, this tool is excellent. You don't need it with our Protekt, but because our Protekt is easy to install, with the steamer, it makes it even that much more easier. It's an amazing tool. It'll take fingers down basically with just the steam. And Lisa will show a small sampling of that in one of the videos. Now, here's the ease of installation video. Now, Lisa is our trainer, and right now she's going to be tagging the center as she puts it down. Now, what she's doing is she's going to anchor this in place. Now, she's going to check all her edging and see what she's got, make sure she has lined up to where she liked it. But with the Protekt, like I said, like Shannon was saying earlier, that this can be repositioned. It can be lifted up. Now, she has put this on with the soap and water, but now she's going to flush out the soap using the alcohol mixture. Okay, so she's going to lift up to that center tag line, spray heavily with the alcohol. Now, that'll flush out any soap. Now, when she puts it back down, she can reposition, she can stretch. And what's nice about the Protekt is you'll notice that it's not going to leave any lines. It's not going to leave any lift lines. It's not going to leave any glue markings and no ridge lines. Now, here again, she's looking at a finger that's not quite in place. So she will lift this again, as you can see, and she will spray it again with the alcohol, reposition, and we'll show very closely that we're not leaving any lines when she's doing this, if it's done properly. Okay, now she's going to keep the surface of the PPF wet, because she does not want her squeegee to stutter. So she's going to go across, working her way to the edge. Okay, and this is done without any steam. Okay, so as you can see, she's going to do the other side with steam, just to show the speed of the install. Now, we haven't sped this installation up at all. This is actual install time. So you can see how fast the hood can be put down. Our adhesive is very aggressive, but not too aggressive, where it's going to leave marks. So now she's going to wipe down to see she hasn't left anything behind. She doesn't have any lift lines. She doesn't have any bubbles left in the surface. So she'll look over the edging to make sure she doesn't have any lines. And if she did, she could lift up again, like we were saying earlier. But now here's a close-up of showing you there is no lift lines, no ridge lines, and no adhesive puckering or marks in the adhesive from lifting it twice. Now, like the first side, she's going to do this one. She'll lift it up, put the alcohol in, and she's going to flush out any of the soap. But this time she is going to use the steamer. And you'll actually see one of the lead fingers on the front. It will actually almost go away by itself without any squeegeeing, but we'll get to that in just a moment here. But as right now, she's going to position, put it in place, and these lead fingers on the front are going to be steamed away. So the steamer has like a foam cover on the end of it, so it can be rubbed right onto the surface without hurting the PPF at all. But any of those lead fingers are now just going to They basically go down by themselves, okay? So now the same thing as the other side, she will squeeze you to the edge. She'll get it down, but those fingers are really, really easy to put down with the steamer with hardly any effort at all. So again, she'll look at the ridge lines. There are none. The clarity of the product on a white. There is no yellow residue at all, or a yellow staining color. Now again, she wasn't happy with that edge, so she put a little bit more alcohol under there, and she will squeeze you down. And you'll see how aggressive it does stick down when she goes to wrap it, okay? So she's just checking her edge, but again, there's no ridge lines, because a lot of times if you work on the edge like that, you will get what's called ridge lines. They look like a mountaintop, okay? They leave an ugly mark. So with this stuff, it's not. Now this is going to show the self-healing properties.
With exceptional self-healing performance. Minor scratches can be healed with a heat gun. The film will smooth out on its own as the scratches disappear. Protekt PPF offers exceptional chemical and residue resistance. Solvents such as acetone, gasoline, and motor oil will not damage the film when left on for short durations of time. Protekt PPF also resists staining from natural substances like bird droppings and bug residue. Even a permanent marker will not stain or mark the film surface. All residue can usually be cleaned with a soft cloth and the water and baby shampoo solution. If needed, alcohol can also be used to achieve a complete removal of these substances. Protecting consumer and commercial vehicles' paint finish from the many things the road may throw at it. Protekt Paint Protection Film is the place to start for the perfect finish.
We'll move on to the high gloss finish video. Now this one is just going to show, it's a really quick video, but it's going to show you the actual finished product. Once Lisa had finished the install, she had checked it all over, but as you can see, being on white, there is no slight yellow tinge. The clarity is incredible. The shine is very, very nice, very bright. It enhances the metallics in the paint. It really does very sharp. You'd never know it was on from even 2 feet away. Now what she's going to do here is she's just going to trim the excess off, because she's going to do a wrapped kit. Now this can be done with a kit on the plotter, or as she's doing is with a bulk piece. Now you can see how fast it wraps. I mean, she doesn't have any Pro Bond or any adhesive promoter underneath on this one, which would even help it quicker. But in this case, she's wrapping it around. It sticks down rather quick, no lines, no fingering, and it's a really nice finished product. I highly recommend a wrapped kits, obviously for the protection part of it, because rocks can hit the very edge where if you don't do a wrapped kit, you just leave it exposed 1/8 of an inch even. That's where the rock will find it in most cases. But as you can see from this, it's got a nice shine. Now I'd like to go over the marketing materials available. Now we have some really nice pieces that can go along with the sale and help you sell the product more in your showrooms. The first one is the Protekt PPF. It's the car hood display. Now this is about a 2 foot by 2 foot hood that has protection on one side and not on the other. It's got good verbiage, tells you exactly what's going on. It's a great piece for any showroom, even a car dealership. It'll tell everything there is to know. It'll show the shine of the product. Now the next one is the consumer brochures. It's a POP display. Now this one it's great obviously for your showroom, for your dealerships. It'll stand, has the trifolds inside. Now the trifolds are all the information you'll ever need. Now what's nice about the trifolds is if you're a tint shop and they don't know you do PPF, or they've never even thought about getting PPF done, leave one of these in the car after you've tinted the car, and you may just grab that extra sale because they didn't even realize you did it. And the next one is a sample card. These are good for the person that's serious about getting it done, but has to take it home, talk it over, and this way they can see the product, feel the product, and it's got all the information built onto it. Banner stands. Now these banner stands are 6 feet tall, very nice, excellent for a showroom, excellent for a dealership. Now they can also be used for if you're doing trade shows, car shows. They're a great way to display it. It's got the verbiage on there. It's telling everything you need to know about the PPF. And we also have hanging banners for the outside of the building. Now these are great. They're about 3 feet by 6 feet. They hang on the outside of the building or the inside. But if they're on the outside, they're going to give you some viewing for traffic is going to view it. They're going to drive by. They may not even realize because you may be a tin shop. They now realize you can do PPF. It'll help drive them to your shops. Now, all these marketing materials are available on shopmadico.com or at your local Madico service center, or as a downloadable PDF on the Madico hub. You can ask any of your local reps for pricing or availability on any of these pieces. Now, we want to thank everybody for coming out and attending this webinar. Now, we have 2 specials we're going to be running. Special number 1, and use code Protekt Webinar 1. What we're doing is we're going to give a 24-inch by 10-foot roll of Protekt PPF. It's a limit 1 per company. The second special is use code Protekt Webinar 2. Now, what we want is you to take a photo, send us your feedback. Everyone that tags Madico in a social media post that mentions Protekt PPF will be eligible for 10% off their first or next purchase of Protekt PPF. Posts must be made within 30 days of the webinar. What we want you to do is, step 1, you follow Madico Inc. on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Step 2, create a post that mentions Protekt PPF and tag Madico. Step 3, send a copy of your post to your Madico service center and mention code above to receive your discount. Now, discounts are available for 20-inch rolls and 60-inch rolls. Good for up to 2 rolls, full rolls only. And this discount does expire December 20th, 2020.
Thanks, Ken and Shannon. That was very informative. We do have just a few questions that have come in, and while I'm asking these first questions, this is the opportunity for anyone that's in attendance to enter additional questions into the chat box. The first question is, what's the proper way to care for Protekt PPF?
Shannon, you want to take that?
Sure. So Protekt is very, very easy to take care of. You just want to allow 3 days before washing it, and you want to use normal cleaning procedures. Don't use a pressure washer closer than 36 inches. And of course, hand washing is always best. Although it's self-healing and stain resistant, you will still want to remove bird droppings, pollutants, leaves, tree sap, etc. promptly, because these can be very acidic in nature and can ultimately damage the PPF if it's left on for long periods of time.
Thanks, Shannon. And then secondly, somebody asked, should you remove the cap sheet before or after plotting?
I'll take it, Shannon. You can do it either way. Like, this stuff does not buckle, but you'd have to set your pressure on your plotter. So if you find it easier just to take off and plot it, that's fine. But certainly you can plot it with the cap sheet on.
And then somebody just asked, can it be applied to a waxed surface?
No, you want to take off all waxes. I highly recommend, you use your alcohol to take the wax off. Yeah, you're going to have to clean the surface. You want to get it down to its raw paint surface.
Okay, and then Ken, is there PPF installation training available?
Yeah, right now what we have our training center in Canada. Lisa does it out of our Oakville office. I know in the Pinellas Park with the new plant, they will be developing a training center coming in 2021 at some time. I don't have any dates yet. But as of right now, we do have it in Canada available, but coming in the US, yes.
Thanks. And then the last question, we're almost out of time here. is, will Protekt PPF turn yellow over time, and will it lose its shine?
I can answer this. I mean, the Protekt is UV protected, and so it will not yellow over time. And with proper maintenance and waxing, it will stay shiny for years.
Okay, thank you guys. This was a great webinar, and we appreciate everyone attending.